Well, I am live in St. John and with the mayor, who I will introduce in just a moment. But I want to start by talking about how these tariffs can impact a city like St. John, particularly exposed. I mean, earlier in the show, I mentioned the fact that 93% of international exports are, they head to the U.S. So these tariffs are a massive, they get a massive pressure on the economy here and impact production and jobs and, of course, the people of St. John. So we wanted to bring the mayor in, Mayor Donna Reardon. Thanks for joining us this morning. I sort of teased off the top of the hour there that you have said it is time for Canada to break up with the U.S. What does that breakup look like to you?
Well, I guess for us, we've been in this very comfortable relationship for all these years with the U.S. And we have the back and forth. Our industry rolls back and forth. Our manufacturing rolls back and forth. All of our people do. I mean, we took our kids skiing in Maine every year on the March break. I've been down to Bangor for lots of bus trips. Boston's only about a 7.5-hour ride from here, so you can rip down to Boston. So the New England coast is beautiful. So we've always done that back and forth, and you see a lot of the Americans. We have a tourist. We have the cruise ship industry in St. John.
Of course,
we'll have a lot of Americans that come up, and we've been comfortable in our relationship, but now we're getting beat up by our partner, and it's been an unpredictable beating, and we don't know why we're being beat up, and we're told if we do better, the beating will be less, but we don't know what we're doing wrong, so I say it's time to split.
It's time to split. So then who are we going to enter into a relationship with, right? Because we need partners.
We do need partners, but we have a lot of infrastructure here in St. John, so you have, one of the deep water port, you have a huge, one of the deepest in the world here in St. John. There are 3 major Class 1 railways that connect with that port. The port already has relationships around the globe with partnerships, not the majority being with the states, so those relationships are already there. And then there is, of course, Canada. There are, from coast to coast, you have 13 premiers right now that are working together, which I've never seen that before in my life, and looking at that interprovincial trade, looking at barriers, looking at the structure of the trade corridors as well, and how to strengthen those. So there's all kinds of opportunities for us to do our own thing.
True. Are you talking with the province right now? What are those conversations like? Well,
the province is obviously, they're working with the federal government as well. They're working together with the other premiers, and they have a package, that they've put together for impacts. And so we're sort of just waiting for all of those impacts to trickle down. What it's mostly created here right now, I'm finding, is the uncertainty of it creates, that instability for everyone.
Yeah.
Younger people are saying to me, I can't buy a house right now because I don't know what tomorrow is bringing. And older people who are retired are like, this fluctuation with the Canadian dollar, like, what is that doing to my retirement funds, and how am I going to navigate that going forward? So, and then for the people in the middle, everybody who's working, you're like, will I have a job tomorrow? Like, what's the impact of this? So the uncertainty is difficult. And I find every night when I go home, I need to watch the news, because every day,
I know,
it's it's what's
not even every day, Mayor. It's like every half an hour. You're like, where are we? What is happening?
Exactly.
You're right. It's that feeling of uncertainty, right? To sit in that is really, really difficult for people, and to know if they have a job tomorrow or not, because we know that if these massive tariffs keep escalating, that means massive layoffs. People will lose their jobs. So as we are into this federal election campaign, when you are listening to the leaders right now, what are you looking for? What are you waiting to hear?
Well, I'm waiting to hear what is the plan as we deal with what's happening with Trump. I think Trump is the big thing on everyone's mind, is what are we doing about Trump, and how will we extricate ourselves from that relationship? What does that look like, and how do we strengthen Canada? I mean, we're talking about all this uncertainty right now, but St. John is actually growing. Our port had 2 cranes not that long ago, and now it has 6, and they're gigantic, huge cranes. If you had an opportunity to see them down there, we just had the largest cargo ship that we've ever had
Yes.
in St. John
That's
about 2
right.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
So our port is growing, and that is, important for not only St. John, that's important for the whole country.
Yes.
So that's why the trade corridor, we have a trade corridor here as well. There is a logistics park just here across the river, and that logistics park comes through a intersection in St. John. It's Route 100. It was fine years ago, but now we have all this train traffic going through, which is all good. So that needs to be strengthened. So we're looking for help from the province and from the federal government to get that organized. And we just want to look at the barriers we have and say, listen, how can we share what we have, and maybe what we have here, somebody out west needs it, and maybe what they have. Like, let's go across the country.
Yeah, and I like your enthusiasm with that, because I think that's a lot of what Canada is feeling right now. Because if you at home, to your point, what is happening here directly affects you right across the country. The goods that you have at home right now, they come from the ports, and this is a very busy port. We're actually going to be speaking with Port of St. John coming up in just a little bit, especially, and we're going to talk about that massive container ship that cruised in. Mayor Reardon, thank you for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Great to be here.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, everybody.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.